Welcome back, guys. Welcome to part 2 of the August 10th patch note. Alright, so we just finished checking out the Guilty Gear, everything that has to do with the Guilty Gear collaboration event. And right now, let's have a look at the skill improvements for Sogoon and Churyeok. Alright, let's have a look at Sogoon's one first. Alright, White Tiger's Energy. I believe this is his passive skill. So Sogoon turns one tile around him into ice terrain at the beginning of his turn for 2 turns. Oh, so that's an interesting change. Before this, it turns to the tile that he's standing on. So right now, I guess they will randomly choose one tile around him. It could be good if you are moving your character forward, but it could be bad at the same time. So if Sogoon is on an ice terrain, his attack is increased by 20%. So previously it was 15%, while decreasing incoming damage by 13% from skills that have less than 3 tile range. So before this was incoming damage by 20% from skills that have less than 2 tile range. So the damage, so what's happening here is the damage reduction has been reduced, which is bad. Before this was 20%. You get 20% decreased damage, but right now it's only 13%, so that's 7% less. But as opposed to now, it affects more skills because it affects skills that have less than 3 tile range as opposed to 2 tile range before this. So I would say that's a pretty good buff. Yeah, it's a pretty good buff. So let's have a look at the Cold Grudge. Cold Grudge, I believe this is his first skill. So there's not much except for some range improvement, so that's pretty cool. So now he has improved range. So same goes for his White Tiger's Fang skill, and modifiers slightly increased to 175.7% of his attack. Alright, that's pretty cool. Summons a Binding Ice Storm that attacks enemies at 195.1% of attack. Alright. Now that's his now that's his third skill. And immobilize enemies for 1 turn and 90% chance. Ooh, 90% chance. Creates a chance of casting a delay effect that activates after 1 turn, which changes the terrain within a 1 tile range around the enemy into ice for 2 turns at 100% chance. Before this was 90%. Alright, after analyzing his second and third skill, you know what? You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Evan. The Maple Story Evan. So right now, Sogoon has similar skill range to Evan's third and first skill. That means he's gonna be very useful in guild raids right now. So if you are still running the Monday strat with Evan, and maybe the Friday strat as well, if you are still using Evan and the Wednesday, so you should replace Sogoon because Evan alternates between third and first. Sogoon can alternate between his third and second. And besides, Sogoon is awakened. That should give him slightly more stats than Evan, even though Evan has Soul Gear. So yeah, that's interesting. He should be viable in guild raid right now. Let's have a look at Churyeok. Churyeok's skill. So Flow of the Universe, no change. Ferocious Pounding, no change. I believe that's the passive and first skill. So let's have a look at the second and third skill. So what are the changes here? As you can observe, there are no Modifiers increase. Still 145.3%. So before these energy marks only affect allies. So right now it's changed to affect allies and enemies as well. So that's cool, man. So that means, wow, that's a pretty significant buff. If there's more enemies, it means that there's more energy marks, which in turn makes him extremely strong in PvE. He might be extremely useful in Tower of Dawn Hell if you need a tank. So this energy mark thing will make him extremely tanky. So same goes for his third skill, Asura's Energy. It affects allies and enemies right now. Alright, Flow of the Universe. Wait, isn't that his passive skill, Flow of the Universe? Flow of the Universe, no change. And then here, Flow of the Universe, there's a change. Next on. What are you guys doing? I assume it's a typo error again. And this time, yeah, looks like one of it is the Awakening skill. I believe it's the bottom one. Since the buff, they are buffing it to 858% attack, and there's a max cap of 100,000 energy mark, or 100,000 defense ignoring damage. Okay, cool. It's quite strong. Alright, let's check out all of this. So this is Awakening skills of different heroes have been adjusted. Alright, let's have a look. Kai. The energy of thunder and lava ignores 6,000 defense of enemies within its range and attacks them at 335% attack. Additionally, creates a chance of stunning them for 1 turn. 100% chance for its target and 80% for all the others within its range. Cool. Chris. So right now requires 4 turns. Attacking enemies at 822% attack. Increase defense by 5,000 for 2 turns. Creates a 10% chance of resisting abnormal status effects. Okay, Straka Brotherhood. Ritual of Happiness. Attacks enemies at 807%. Ignores defense by 5,100. Immobilize for 1 turn, and skill final fire power increases by 31% if the enemies have their defense decreased. Not much change there. Jack awakens for 4% attack, 100% chance confused for 2 turns, decreased healing effects for 2 turns. Jenny, 817% attack, inflicting 50,500 defense ignoring damage. If 2 or more enemies are hit, this skill additionally inflicts 33,100 damage. If 4 or more, 33,100 damage is added to the damage bonus. Very strong passive right there. Ian, alright. 239% attack, decreased defense by 3,000 for 2 turns. Enemies at least 3 tiles away from Ian have their defense decreased by 4,000 for 2 turns. Wow, and additionally receive 54,000 defense ignoring damage. Man, I need to start using Ian in Battle of Honor right now. One turn, man. 1 turn for him to charge his Awakening skill. That's cool. Alright, Sonic Boom. Ignores 5,100 enemy defense, inflicts damage at 444% attack. Enable Sonic Boom to move through enemies for 2 turns. Yeah, that's very unique. So Mas. Restores HP 528% attack. Increase all allies movement by 3. Alright. Deborah, 822% attack. Targets cannot be healed for 3 turns. Enemies under DOT receive all the remaining DOT damage at once. Wow. Dolores. 2 turns. Inflict damage to enemies in range of with 338% attack and increase their mana cost by 100% for 1 turn. Copy enemies' buffs randomly up to 5 and keep them for 1 turns. Removes enemies' buff. Hey, Dolores is pretty strong. 2 turns to use his awakening skill. Alright, Alfred explodes inner energy, attacking enemies within its range at 817% attack, ignoring 4200 defense, decrease their movement by 4 for 2 turns. Alright, Lance. Attacking all enemies in his range at 234% attack, cannot receive more than 35,000 damage for 2 turns. Alright. If Lance is in movement reduction mode, this skill's final power increases by 25%. Alright, so Lance 1 is pretty cool as well. You can use it at turn 1. I mean within 1 turn. Carrot, 19% attack with a 100% chance of confusing them for 2 turns. Also restores 300 MP. Yeah, pretty strong. Shu Shu fills your Lord Gauge by 10 blocks and heals all allies on the map by 485.3% attack. Let's see any more interesting ones. Zero delivers a finishing blow, inflicting damage at 342% attack with 100% chance of instantly killing its target. Yeah, Zero's one is still very broken. If you have that set that reduces your awakening turn by 1, yeah, you can foresee Zero being extremely broken and being used very often in Battle of Honor, especially for those who have that set. Pony. Let's see, attacking enemies in its range at 817% attack, casts the revival effect on allies in its range for 2 turns, then immediately restores 14.5% max HP when they are incapacitated. Alright, almost done with the freaking list. Apparently everyone... Oh, Momo's one is reduced to 4 turns now. 809% attack, 80,000 defense ignoring damage. Reset Momo's passive effects. Alright, I like it. Nox, 434% attack with 80% chance of cursing and confusing them for 2 turns. Alright, Mu, freeze the power seal in the talisman, attacking enemies 240% attack. Makes target cannot be healed for 2 turns. Plunders the enemy's soul to increase Mu's attack by 4,500 and defense by 2,500 for 2 turns. Alright, Hongyum. Wow, Hongyum's one is pretty broken actually. 822% attack, slightly higher than Momo's one, and it affects and burn them for 2 turns. Burn target inflicts damage within 1 tile at 196.1% attack at the beginning of each turn. Wait, am I looking at wrong? No. 822%, alright. So Ildo attacks enemies in a straight line. 439%, cause little wound for 2 turns. Little wound inflicts as much damage as 79% attack for every tile that is target move at the end of the turn. Alright, apparently based on the pattern that I'm seeing right now, heroes that have 4 turn awakening, yeah, they have 800% modifier of attack, so that will help out a lot, especially in Tower of Dawn Hell. So I'm looking at that specifically. Let's see, Taihua, 4 turns, 4 turns, finishing touch, 817% attack. So if enemy has its attack decreased, this skill inflicts additional damage that equals 18.5% of its current HP. If the enemy has decreased defense, then it inflicts additional 44,000 defense ignoring damage. Whoa! Well, Taihua's one has always been like that. I guess they are just changing the the amount of turns required. Thanatos is now 4 turns, 817% attack, 4000 defense ignoring damage on his target. 2 turns, Thanatos achieves 33% higher attack and gains resistance that 33% chance of ignoring abnormal status. Real Gang, 807% modifier with a 100% or 80% or 40% chance of casting a delay effect that activates in 1 turn, inflicting 50,000 defense ignoring damage at the beginning of that turn. Yeah, Real Gang's one is pretty broken. Camellia, 3 turns, 432% modifier, heals all allies at 519.3% within its range, increases allies critical damage by 15% and movement by 1 for 2 turns. Oh, that's pretty strong. 15%, wow. Yeka, Celestial comes flying, Celestial attacks enemies in 236% attack, pushes them 4 tiles away. Yeka recovers 100% max HP and removes all debuffs cast on her. Like, yeah, pretty strong, pretty strong. Alright, improvements on party save or load. You can name your parties now. Yeah, who cares? Like, Battle Arena second improvements. Now you can select heroes of your choice. Woo! That's cool, man. You can now compose your team without any limitation. So you can choose anyone from the selected list, and you can just make your strongest, OPest team ever. And you don't have to worry about the other person dying or transferring your equipments and stuff like that. Thanks. Improvements on Lot Mastery. Max level will be applied if you press minus button. If the level is set at 0, you can decrease or increase the level by pressing the minus. So before this, you have to, if you reset, you have to press up to 15. So I assume this means that you can just press minus and you will go backwards to 15 straight away from 0. Looks like it, right? Bug or error fix. Visual error for hot icon. Blah 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 blah. So much errors. Alright, I'm not reading all of this. Alright, so they're changing some of the third set effect, like Hungry Predator, King's Arrogance. Some of the effects are not applied properly, so Nomad's Rest. So yeah, they are fixing that. Man, so many errors. Alright, so Battle of Honor events completion. So the honor coins, twice the amount of honor coins from Battle of Honor. So that changes tomorrow. They are resetting it back to normal. Sogoon and Churyeok packages sales period extension. So they are extending it to 24th. That's another 2 weeks. Another 14 days. Cool, man, cool. Alright guys, I guess that's about it. There's nothing else. Yeah, lots of new stuff. I'm excited for the Black Guilty gear mostly, and I'm glad that Sogoon is now much more viable, at least in guild raids, and he seems to be, his range is really helping him out in Battle of Honor as well. So I'm curious to see if it works, and I'm gonna test him out as soon as I can, once he's maxed level 70 and once I have all his Jin fragments. Alright guys, let me know what are you guys excited at the most in this current patch note. Alright, so if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I'll post at least 1 or 2 videos tomorrow. Alright, have a nice day. Goodbye.